Hello everybody, Nate here from Preparation 101, and today I'm going to start the testing and review of my new Esee JG5. So, if you watched the last video, you guys will know that I plan on doing this review a little bit differently. So today's the first day that I'm actually going to be touching this blade to a piece of wood. And before I get to that part, I wanted to go over something real quick. So when you buy a knife, it comes with a sheath. You're not necessarily buying the sheath, you're really paying for the knife, but it's nice whenever you get a really good sheath that just fits right. This one, it seems like it's a good quality leather. The knife fits pretty snug inside, but the top of the sheath here, where it would be through your belt, the handle sticks out past that, and that would be digging up here into my side. So I did have to buy a dangler. I just ordered one off of Amazon so that it'll fit a little bit more comfortably. But that's an easy fix, and now it's time to get into the real testing of this bad boy and actually start cutting on some wood with it. Well, actually, one last thing real quick before I start carving. I'm going to throw the specs for this blade up on the screen for you guys real quick. Alright, so today I'm actually going to be making the video that's been out for a while now of the figure 4 traps. So I'm actually going to carve one out in advance, and this is where that's happening, and this will be, again, the first time I touch a piece of wood with this knife right here. So just got to map out what I need. Just kind of beaver chewing a little bit. Alright, yeah, that came out pretty nicely. So for this piece here, I need hear all that commotion in the background. Bones is rolling around right behind the camera. He just can't let me be the center of attention. So I do like this so far. It feels really good. It really digs into this wood. And I am noticing that it is a little bit of a thinner blade with the 90-degree spine on there. If I want to push really, really hard in, because it's a little thinner than what my thumb's used to, I do feel a little bit of pressure on my thumb, but I think I'll get used to it. My thumb will build up some tolerance to that. So the good thing about the figure 4 for a practice run is that there's a few different styles of notches to carve. So it really gives me a good test of the carving capabilities of this blade. Oh yeah, I do like this so far. And I really like this on the cut where I push down. That part of my 7 notch right there. Thing really goes in there. It goes in a lot better than my Mora. There we go. Yeah, that was really nice carving there. Really nice. Put this off to the side. I have another project I want to do with this. Because we're getting close to fire season, I figure for my first day with this, I better start a fire, because I may not have a chance to the next time I come out. So put that right there. Gotta grab my little piece of fat wood I have. Oh yeah, still good. Okay, let's make some shavings. Let's try the back of the knife. Very nice. Get a little bit of this stuff and we'll hit a ferro rod with that spine. Alrighty, and now to finish off the day 1 challenges, let's see what kind of sparks we can get. Oh yeah, I like it. This thing just really bites into that ferro rod good whenever I scrape it. I really like it, and I really look forward to using this thing some more. So yep, that's the end of chapter 1. Alrighty guys, it is time for part 2. This is about probably 3 weeks in between filming of these parts here. And I have used this knife in between these filming sessions, but just for little tasks, which I already gave my thoughts on the little tasks. Today I have a few hours after work and decided to find a spot in the woods, and I took this different turn that I've kind of driven by a few times, and it's a pretty rough road. Found a spot. I was planning on using this knife to build some kind of a chair, because I wanted to do some heavier tasks with it today. But as you can see right behind me, there's this perfectly good log to sit on, so how realistic would it be for me to build a chair in this area right now? So I'm just going to start batoning and chopping, maybe make some oversized log cabin notches, just really put this thing to work and see how it does for me. So I can say the only downside to this knife so far has been how thin this handle is. I mean, it's still comfortable. I like the great grip on it. But if it was a little thicker for my hands, I just feel like I had a little bit more control over the knife. But they can't all be perfect, and I really, with my hands, none actually have been perfect. So anyways, I'm going to go find some wood. You can probably tell in this area there's a bunch of down stuff. There's trees over there that are leaning up on other trees that are dead but not rotten yet because they're elevated. So I'm going to see if I can find some pieces of those and find me a baton and really start putting this JG5 to work. So let's get after it. So first things first, see if I can make myself a better baton. If I was able to break this piece off here, I need something a little heavier. So I think towards the upper middle of this will work. I just gotta get through it somehow. So I don't have my saw with me, so Well, if that didn't put a beating on it, I don't know what will. Woo-wee. She is still shaving sharp. And that is right in the middle of the spot that I was hammering down. Oh, excuse me, guys, sorry. All right, some traditional batoning here. Right in a knot. Sometimes that's the problem when you're trying to film something. You're so worried about what the camera sees that you don't see what could be making the job harder for you. So we got through that no problem. So it's past that time of year where I can make a fire now, but let's pretend that I'm trying to get something ready for a fire, you know? Real world situations. Yeah, let's go one more with that and see how she feathers still. We can do another one. Oh yeah. All right. No, wait. I'm gonna put these off to the side here. I'm gonna try and make a couple of log cabin notches in this thing. And then we'll come back and see how she feathers. Alrighty guys, find a spot that would be kind of realistic right here. Well, that was practically no time at all on that log cabin notch. Let's see here. Oh, it's so smooth still. Oh gosh. Let me get a spot. Man, dude, that is still like cutting butter. Oh, I have no doubt that this thing could withstand an entire day of me building shelter, gathering firewood, splitting wood for firewood, getting my tender together and still hold an amazing edge. Like, I am, sorry, I'm trying to look more into the lens than at the viewfinder. I keep catching myself looking at the viewfinder, but I am just blown away by this thing right now. With the Mora, I could tell that, like, doing this heavier work where I was just beating this thing into a piece of wood, the Mora, the edge retention wasn't quite the same. And this Esee here, this JG5, it just, man, it's amazing. Oh, I wish I could start a fire right now. I want to light that. Like, those are just some beautiful, beautiful feathers right there on that stick. So yeah, this is definitely something that I would be willing to recommend to people. And I'm really excited to the future of me carrying this knife. I can't wait for all the adventures that the JG5 and I are going to be going on together. So, I'm going to reposition real quick, and I got something else to talk to you guys about. So what I wanted to go over real quick was tool maintenance. Alright, you get yourself a nice knife like this, and no matter how good it is not going to stay sharp forever. You got to take care of it. And it's a carbon steel blade, so no matter how good of a steel the carbon steel is, it can still rust if you don't take care of it. So in closing of this video, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how the first thing that I'll do with this knife whenever I get home is I'll use a little bit of knife oil, and I'll go over the oil I use in just a second here, and kind of polish off whatever pitch I have. But today you can see didn't really get any pitch on it, just some scuff marks from the abuse I put it through today. But that'd be the normal case if I got some pitch on there. Is I'd use a like a piece of Scotch-Brite, just like an abrasion pad, and that knife oil I'm going to show you in a second, and clean that off. And I always wear a leather belt, and one of the main reasons I like a leather belt over a synthetic material or any other style of belt is because I can use that leather belt for stropping the blade. I'm not going to take my belt off right now, but I'm sure in future videos I'll demonstrate this more closely, and most of you probably already even know what stropping is anyways. But I would just take my belt, I wrap one in around my foot, pull it tight, and just run the knife kind of with the curve of the blade back and forth on the belt there, and that's just going to take off all the little burrs and polish this baby back out to a really nice blade. And let's see if I can get here. Look at that, even after all that I did with it, still shaving sharp. So the knife oil that I like to use to protect my blade, and this does help with the cleaning process as well. Not as well as like a solvent would get the pitch off, but it does help. But it's really good for treating the blade, and it's 100% food safe. It's Citadel Black knife oil right there. And they come in these nice little containers, or at least the one I have does. And it talks about their knife oil prevents rust by thinly coating your blade with oil, thus preventing oxidation and growth of bacteria. It is recommended to clean and oil your blade every few weeks. I like to do it after every hard use. And putting the knife away wet with oil gets a little bit of oil coated inside of your sheath, especially if you have a leather sheath like the JG5 comes with. That leather will soak up some of the oil, and that way every time you put your knife away, you've got that extra little bit of oil in there to keep it from rusting. So this little glass bottle here, it has a dropper. So just a few drops, polish up that blade. It's really nice. Yep, if you're going to have a tool that you want to be able to rely on, that tool in a way also has to rely on you taking care of it and maintaining that tool, and it will last you a lifetime. So yes, I definitely love this knife. I approve this knife to anybody who might have been curious about it. And I think that's about it for today. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Those help the videos get spread around a little bit on YouTube so more people can see these. And if you enjoyed it, well, maybe somebody else would like to enjoy it. And it just helps me out. You know, I like to get my videos around to people. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything out. So you don't hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. And if you're curious about other ways that you can support Preparation 101, check out the links in the description. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you next time.